the former home of Chad Daybell. And this is the scene of the crime where Lori, um, Lori's children were laid to unrest, I guess is what you might say. We are in Salem, Idaho. We are at um, the home of Chad Daybell and where the children were found. We're also at the home where Tammy was killed. So we are preparing for Lori's trial that begins next week. We've been out here talking with Justin Lum, who was here to visit, getting prepared for the trial as well. And so we wanted to just give you a little view of what things look like. So I'm going to switch my camera here so you can see, maybe. There we go. There we go. So that's a great shot. That car ahead of us, that's Justin Lum. And then you can see off kind of to your right, there are a couple of trees. And the tree closest to us, that is near the fire pit where Tylee's body was found. And then the tree further past it onto your right is near where JJ's body was found. Straight ahead there's a red outbuilding. We know there are some tools found in that building where that potentially may have been used in the dismemberment of Tylee's body. And beyond that is the tan brick house. This is the house where Tammy was killed. This is the house where Chad Daybell lived, and it's actually the house where some of his children are still living. So we're out here getting some footage, just getting prepped. Katie and I'll get Katie on here in just a second. We're kind of reminiscing about where we started with this case. You all know, if you follow us, that we've been doing this case from the very beginning. And we were out here as soon as we found out that the children's bodies were found. We were out here to share that with you. That was a very solemn day, and it feels very solemn out here still. There's definitely a palpable energy to this place that I don't know if it'll ever go away after what's happened here after 3 murders. So, Katie, are you ready?
I'm almost
okay
ready.
Katie's almost ready. So it was really nice to have Justin Lum out here and some other members of the community visiting the memorial. I'm going to pan this way if I can. You can see it. Do you see that memorial off to your left? That is on the fence of a neighbor who has allowed it to stay. There are banners and flowers and things that are left there in memory of the kids. If you can see how rural this is rural Idaho. This is Fremont County, Idaho, which actually butts right up to the Montana state line and Yellowstone National Park at the west entrance. So we're out in the boonies, that's for sure. But it's not the boonies for us because we've lived here all our lives. Haven't we, Katie?
Yeah, we have.
Okay, so I'm going to try to get us both in the frame here.
Hey, guys.
Thank you, YouTube, for finally giving us landscape abilities to record. Oh, I'm getting a great shot of the chain hanging from my from my rear view mirror. That's lovely. I'll just take that right off. Well, okay. But yeah, we were just interviewed by Justin Lum, and that was really interesting and fun. Mm-hmm. Justin, broke this case in Arizona, mm-hmm. and then Nate Eaton has done tons of work here in Idaho, but Justin has also followed it from day one.
Yeah, all of the Arizona side stuff was done by Justin. Honestly, when Lori, if and when she is actually tried in Arizona, that will be on Justin.
Yeah.
Because he is the one who got all of that information, pardon me, together. He's the one that requested and did all the FOIAs there, mm-hmm. to get all of the vest cam footage, all of the interviews.
Yeah.
Everything that you've seen that's come out of Arizona, it probably came through his office.
It probably did.
He's been amazing.
He really, literally, probably could be credited for finally getting the police to see Charles's death as
absolutely
a murder. So
absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah. So do you remember what it felt like when we came out here that day? The forensic tents were up, and like there were FBI trucks out here. Like it mm-hmm. was.
They had these big lights like they just lit up everything, and they had those on for like 3 days.
Yeah.
At night out here, it was just a beacon.
Yep.
When the news that the kids okay, let me back up. When the news that a body had been found, because that's what was said first. was that a body had been found
Right.
out here. My daughter and I, and her photographer, because she was the editor of her school newspaper, we met up and came out here to the reporter's staging area, which was about a mile actually from the house, and used her press pass in order to get in here. And there was a bunch of press here, and they had us in a staging area, and we made a video of what the sheriff said, and we'll share it in our socials here the next day or two. It's a little bit hard to hear. It was also a very windy day that day.
Yes, it was. I remember that the videos. Yeah, we decided to do it in the car today because.
But the house, like I said, it was about a mile away. They had about a mile of all of these country roads out here completely blocked off, so that you couldn't get anywhere near the actual house until later. So when the sheriff first announced that they had found a body at the press conference, he would only confirm a body.
Yeah.
And that actually went on for a couple of days. There were rumors that they actually found both the kids, but that was not confirmed until the mayor that week did an interview, and I guess didn't realize that information hadn't been made public yet, and he confirmed that they had found 2 bodies. He wasn't.
This sounded all familiar to like what went on in the Moscow murders.
Pretty much.
Sometimes mayors need a shut up because they don't know. They shouldn't be talking about crime stuff. Probably they don't necessarily know.
Right, and he apparently didn't know in the apology that he put out that he did not realize that wasn't public knowledge at that point. But at any rate, it was later that day when they actually did clear out of here at first, and you could pull down the road. And so we did. We came out here and got some footage, and it was just shocking and surreal to think that those children had been buried right there all this time while everyone had been looking, asking where are the kids. All that time that Lori had been, pardon me, sitting in the jail, saying that it indicating that they were hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
That she was trying to indicate that someone was hiding them for her, right?
Yeah.
To keep them safe. It was a custody issue, yada yada. She had told her son Colby that they'd all be together again soon, and not to worry, everything was fine. And that was kind of the narrative that she had going. And so for the kids, and a lot of locals did believe that. Up to that point, Chad still had a lot of support. He still had a lot of people, especially out in this area that he went to church with and that he was friends with, that were defending him. That Chad would never do something terrible. He would never hurt his wife. He would never hurt someone's children. He would never do any of these things.
Right.
Until the day those kids were found. And it rocked this community back on their heels.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because as stupid as he apparently wants us all to think, and says that he didn't know anything about the kids being buried on his own property, we all know that's bullshit. We're not stupid.
Well, no,
that's a game.
The day, according to the pings from Alex's phone, the day that Tylee was buried out here, and then 10 days later, the day that JJ was buried out here, the day Tylee was buried out here, Chad had sent some very weird texts to his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all about being out here working on this property.
Yeah, they were. He totally owned himself on that, Not to mention, like, duh, you think you're going to have children buried on your property and you don't know it? This is not a very big place. I mean, let me show you again the distance between. I want you to look. See, the house is to the left here. It's kind of a tan brick house, but then there's the red outbuilding to your right, and then beyond that are the 2 trees where the 2 kids' bodies were buried. You look at how close that is to the back of the house. There is no way that they didn't know. This is not like this was on property but acres away or something. This was literally on the same little plot of land. There's no way they could have not known, that he could have not known.
That Alex was sneaking around here into the little red barn, chopping up a human body and carrying it out there and starting a fire.
and that he didn't know.
Yeah, sure,
I
Jan.
mean, look at the distance. We all know we're not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that could have happened, because things would be disturbed and moved and changed. I mean, there wasn't snow on the ground at that time, obviously. This is April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's. This is real.
But also, you know, out on this road, the road in front of Chad's house is quite busy. But this side road that we're parked on right now, this is a little country road, a little agricultural road.
Yeah.
This road does not get a lot of activity. It does not get a lot of, stuff going on. But the idea that either Alex would have had to pull into Chad's driveway,
right,
and move a body all the way into that shed, there's no way, because that's the only way to access the property.
Right. Oh, let's look at this again. It's fenced all the way around. You can see it. Hang on. Come on, phone, do your thing. You see this fence right in front of us here? That's the fence. It goes all the way around the property.
Mm-hmm. So the only way to pull into the property
back there too. See, there's no other way.
Yeah, there's two ways to access the property. One of them is on this road here, up on the corner of Chad's house. There's a drive-through into there, and then there's also a spot on the main road to pull into the front driveway in front of the house. Right. But again, there's really no other way to get here.
No, there isn't. Absolutely not. So,
or to access this back pasture where the kids were buried.
Right.
The only way to access that would be to pull into the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because it's a ditch all the way around it.
Yeah.
Too. So, anyway, we're working on an episode that is a combination of what we've done today and what we did on the day that the children were found. Some of our past stuff, and put it together, kind of where we've been up to this point. Also, at some point, we were interviewed by Justin Lum. That's going to air, and we'll share that with you as well.
Yeah.
So
some of it.
Yeah.
We would imagine.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we were. There were only 5 people here. We were the first. There were no other media here besides Justin and his cameraman, and it was really a cool experience, because he helped make sure these kids got found, and so it was fun to get to meet him and talk to him.
Yeah.
And we will be back with this and much more in recorded form as our, lead up to the trial, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's here.
You guys know it. We are the True Crime Squad. Thanks for watching.
Take care.